Hello everyone. Thank you for your interest in MANU Partnership Program. In the series of videos, we will guide you through the process of creating a game with MANU so you can make the game of your own and earn money from your creations. In this final part of the tutorial, we are going to build the main level. First, disable the main floor called Item 1. You can enable the snapping to the grid on the top gizmo for better object placement. To build the level, we duplicate parts from the sci-fi prefab and move them to a new position. To prevent the player from falling out of the level, we add a ghost collider and change the collider type to plane. This will cover the entire map. We position the ghost collider low enough inside the death animation of the character. We switch to the Triggers tab and add a new collision started trigger between the main character and the death collider. Make sure to keep the OR operator. In the gameplay, the player falls off the level, touches the death collider, and respawns back to the level. From this point is all about level design skills and how you plan your level. Some basic level design tips are: make it obvious to the players which areas are accessible. Add some lights to make it more appealing or to highlight points of interest. Make your level challenging. Add details. Always test your level. To enhance the level design, import the Moving Platform Prefab. This prefab is pre-made by our team to be a ready-to-work moving platform. You only need to move the starting and ending positions to your preferred location. The platform will move in a loop between those 2 points. The starting and ending points are set to automatically get hidden at the beginning of the game. As with the previous prefab, you can change the model of this moving platform as well. We select and drag the flying platform model from the sci-fi collection into the moving platform model inside the model group. Like before, we set the position to all axes to 0. To make it easier for the player to know where exactly the moving platform starts in the game, we select the mark model from the sci-fi assets and place it where the moving platform starts. Create an animation and import the mark model to the timeline. Add an offset V material track. A default keyframe will appear on position 0. Add another keyframe on position 0.2 seconds. Add the value of origin -0.2. Remember to enable the loop for this animation. On the Triggers tab, add an Object Enabled Continuously trigger and set it to Mark Object. This will make the animation run in a loop as soon as the Mark Object is enabled. Duplicate the mark object and place the copy at the end of the moving platform path. This is a good way to let the players know that something important is happening in this area. Duplicate assets, rotate them, scale them, and place them however you wish. Like this, you can build a nice level with very few assets. You can also create a copy of the moving platform and move it to a new location. The functionality remains intact. To make the level more interesting, we will convert one of the platforms into a dynamic one. Select the platform and change the rigid body type to kinematic. Create a new animation. In the Triggers tab, add a collision started trigger between the main character and this platform. Add the platform to the timeline. Duplicate the current material and change the opacity type to transparent. Also, change the color from white to green. We will use this new material to hide the platform. In the animation, change the color to red and add an opacity keyframe. Let the first keyframe to the origin and add a second keyframe at 1 second to opacity value 0. Add another keyframe at 3 seconds at value 0 and another keyframe at 4 sec at value 100. Disable the rigid body at 1 second in the timeline and enable it back at 3 seconds. Set the color back to green at 4 seconds. Click on the red keyframe in the color track and change the transition from linear to no interpolation. This will force the color to change instantly instead of changing smoothly from red to green. When you preview, you can see the platform disappearing and appear back after a few seconds. You can duplicate this dynamic platform now as many times as you wish. The functionality will remain the same. Go to the Assets Browser tab and import the waving flag prefab. Place the flag anywhere you like your endgame area to be. The flag contains its own pre-made logic. In the flag's variables, there is a variable called flag_is_up, which is set to off by default. Enabling this will cause the flag to rise and start waving. Inside the game manager, we create a collider and we position it at the bottom of the flag. This collider will help us build the endgame logic. Give a distinct name to this collider, for example, Win Collider. Inside the main character, there is an animation called Win. This animation already contains a dance animation and the main character. Add in the timeline the flag and change the flag_is_up variable from off to on. This will cause the flag to rise. In the preview, we can see the character dance. Switch to the Triggers tab and add a collision started trigger between the main character and the Win Collider. Duplicate the gears collectible and populate your level with them. You can have as many as you like. From a level design perspective, place your collectibles in areas where you want to add an extra challenge or guide players in the right direction. Repeat the process with the spikes. In MANU, the duplicated items keep the functionality of the original. So you can have as many spikes as you like, and they all work the same way. Create copies of the battery collectible. The fewer you place, the more challenging the game will be. One of the new features in MANU is the custom skybox. Switch to the Project tab, select the sky, and remove the default image. Load any PNG or HDR image you like. You can also change the sun color to make your level more interesting. In the Game Manager, create a new animation that will contain the game music. Add the launch scene trigger to initiate the animation. Also, add an animation started trigger, set it to the win animation from the character, and change the operator type to and not. This will prevent this animation from continuing to play after the player reaches the end. Add a sound property and add a preferred music track. Enable the loop. Duplicate this animation, change the name, and add a different music track. This will be the ending music. In the triggers type, only let the animation started trigger. To publish the game, head over to the MANU Marketplace and click on Create a New Game. Add a few images or a video and give it a title. Feel free to add up to 5 categories and a description to provide more information about your game and its type or instructions on how to play. MANU has already generated a unique code for you. Click the copy button to copy it or generate a fresh one. Back to your project, click on File, and then Export to Game Store. A window will open to paste your copied code there. Click on the Export Game button. You also have the option to export your game to your disk. Your game is now exported into MANU Marketplace. In the Marketplace, you can toggle the Published button. The game is now available for other users to play. You can directly launch the game from the Marketplace and add it to your favorites. With the usage of ready prefabs from the Marketplace and a little effort, we have created this simple side-scrolling platformer game. There are more assets available for you to download and play around. So, now you know how to easily create games with MANU. Thank you for being a part of this wonderful industry, and we are happy to see you as a member of our partnership program. Don't forget to subscribe to MANU Socials to get all our updates. Let's make great games together.